Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in tonight. This is Oluabi again, or Abid Busi, depending on which page you're watching from. So, I'm bringing in the guest for tonight, but I just want to greet you and pass a quick message. I trying to acknowledge the people that are online. Olufemi, okay, Olufemi Daniel, Senibiaje Oluwaseun, thank you for joining. Ladele Kehinde, thank you for joining. Adedoja, thank you for joining. God bless you. I see Adebola Taiwo. I see, who else am I seeing? Adegboyega Michael. Okay, let's kick start.
I think it's better.
Can you see me now?
Yes, I can see you, ma'am.
Okay, he wanted me to do abracadabra for you.
Serious abracadabra.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma. Thank you. Please bear with us,
Ma'am.
so audience, bear with
Wow.
us, bear with us, bear with
It's
us. You know.
isn't funny at all. Okay.
Yes. Good evening, ma. Good evening. Good evening,
Uh,
everybody. This is Oluabi once again, or Abid Busi, depending on where
you
you're watching from, depending on which page you're watching from. We have in our midst our guest, and I want her to introduce herself. So I don't want to speak for her. Ma, can you please introduce yourself in toto?
um,
You don't have to go to your background, or we just want
oh
to know who
no.
you are and
Okay.
what you do and stuff, like what you have for us today.
Okay. Gloria Okunola, and a mother with married with kids, and I'm a teacher. I teach in Obafemi Awolowo University. An educational psychologist, and I think that's all for now.
Okay, that is it. That is, let me bust your bubbles, huh? She's adding
Oh,
something. She refused to add it. Huh? She's Dr. Mrs. Gloria Okunola. She doesn't want people to be calling her that. Eh? She's a very solemn person, very quiet person, humble to the
oh,
core. Right.
oh,
So, she's a lecturer at Obafemi Awolowo University. That's why she said, I'm a teacher. You can see that. So if you don't decode that, you would know. So thank you for joining us, Ma. Thank you so very much. We are really grateful. We know you have a tight schedule. We've been pushing it, pushing it. I know your schedule is always tight, but thank you for honoring us tonight. So today we have a topic which is called depression. At least if rarely could we see an average person that have not gone through one one side of depression or the other. So, but most times we might not know the meaning. We might not even know if we are depressed. But she's like here, right here, to give us like an insight about what it is, how it is, what it looks like, what to observe, or when you notice some things, what to do, and how to react. So, Miss Dr. Mrs. Okunola, Amioduola, please can you tell us what depression is?
Okay. Before I start, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
really appreciate you for this privilege. It's a privilege to be on this platform. And I want to say I really appreciate it. I'm not taking it for granted. And I want to thank my students, Ellen,
No.
yeah, for making us cross paths and all that, bringing us together. And I really appreciate him. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Okay, so like you said, in life, one way or the other, as individual, we might have experienced some form of some symptoms, not really depression as a whole, but some symptoms of depression, because life itself is full of up and down. It's not always sweet. It's not always a bed of roses. There are times you don't just feel happy. There's times you are so extremely happy, and so it's not every
Ah,
time we feel sad that we actually call it that. I would say we are what depressed and all that. Okay, depression in my own point of view is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness. Not the word persistent, it's continuous, persistent, feelings of sadness and loss of interest in things and activities you once enjoy. Maybe there are some activities you actually enjoy doing, you actually partake in, you find fun in doing them, and all of a
oh,
sudden you just find out that they don't interest you, you don't get interest, and then continuous like that. And then when you are always sad for a long period of time, okay, when a person is sad for a very long period of time, period of 2 weeks, and cannot just get over it, we can actually say the person is maybe depression has set in. Depression actually affects every aspect of an individual life. It affects the person physical health. It affects the person physiological being as a person. It affects his or her ability to think, an individual ability to make certain decisions. When you are depressed, when you are sad, your mood is always some right decisions that you are supposed to make. It also affects an individual job performance or concentration. It's very possible a depressed person loses concentration at job place, even a child in school. It can happen to anybody, okay? Even a child maybe loses concentration while it's being taught in school and all that, and so on and on. Thinking, eating habits, it could actually affect every aspect of an individual life. That's when we say depression has really what setting. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much. You have even gone beyond. Thank you so very much, and that is deep. So, I was about to ask you, like the set of people that get depressed, does it have to do
Okay.
with gender, with age, or with maybe cultural, whatever, or race or something? Does it have to do with that, or it happens to anybody?
Depression does not have to do with whether you're a female or a male, whether you're a professional or not a professional, whether you are a Yoruba or your culture or anything. Depression everyone is vulnerable to depression, because in one way or the other in life, certain things happen that actually make one pull back and like, what is really happening to me? And so depression can happen to anybody. Anybody can be depressed at any point in time, especially when some certain things happen to the person.
Mm, okay. Can you make mention of few things that can happen to people that can make them go depressed?
Uh, so many, so many, like the loss of a loved one, loss when a person lose someone that is very very close to them. You can actually a person can actually withdraw from social relationship, with others, and just go under and be under his or her own shell, like failure, loss of job, so many things like that. Relationship, maybe divorce can also cause depression. So it depends. There are so many things that can attribute to what depression. Then when one is too, your expectation about a person is just too high, and then somebody can also get depressed when you are disappointed on something you expect that it should be, massive, and it just come the way you don't expect it, you know. So,
So thank you, ma. Thank you so very much. So anything can happen to anybody that can make the person go depressed. So as she said, like a loss of a dear one, maybe someone so dear or so close to the person, or it might even be the death, I mean, the circumstances surrounding the person's demise. That, it's just like somebody you spoke to like 5 minutes ago, and they just call you and say the person is no more. It would be like, are you kidding? Is it a lie, or you're saying the truth, or something like that? And then loss of a job, anything can cause a divorce, anything like that. So okay, ma.
then
So when one is going
let me
through
quickly say
that,
something. Okay, let me
go
hear you.
ahead, ma. Go
You said
ahead, ma. Go ahead, ma.
uh, situation can actually happen to us, that will actually hit us in the way we don't expect, that will actually affect us in the way we don't expect. But one get depressed when you think it over and over and over, about the past, something that has happened. You continuous, you continue to meditate on it over and over and over. That's what will actually lead to depression. There's no problem when you are grieved about the loss of a loved one, or maybe you lose something, or just like that. But the way one interprets it and the way you relate to it is actually what can lead to I don't know if you get that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
You know.
Someone is asking a question before okay, so before the question goes away.
So,
They say, does depression give birth to addiction, or does depressed person find salvation in addiction?
okay.
So
We're
the
talking
question
about
I asked,
addiction.
yes, I was
Mm.
asking because I said I was going to split the question into two. That the question was, when someone is depressed, can the person get addicted into one thing or the other? Maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe sexual immoralities or anything. Can they get addicted into something when they are depressed?
Yes, yes, they can. Yes, they can. Like I said, especially when they find solace in such.
Hmm. Hmm. Let's walk. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Uh, can you move from that location? Maybe you should move to another side. Yes. Mm, mm, mm. Hello, ma. They want you to come back. Let me quickly call her to Please, so don't be angry with us. So it's the network. Oh, it wasn't our fault. And this is really beyond us. This is really beyond us. So well, what she was trying to say, let me just conclude that part. She said one can get addicted into something they find solace in. That is when they are grieving or they are depressed, they are going through one challenge or the other, or they are going through a phase in their life, and they find something very comfortable for them to do, maybe in alcohol, in sexual immorality, in what is it called, drugs, or anything they find comfort doing. They find it so comfortable whenever they do it, as at that particular time. And somebody now said, so thinking that that alcohol or that thing will cure them or will heal them or will take away that stuff, which it cannot. It can only come back. That is it. It can only come back because when the person's eyes are cleared, it's reoccurs. That is just it. The thing will start coming back again. So that is it. Let me try and call her. I've been trying to reach her, and is the network. I think where she was seated, it's not. The reception there is not good. Okay, it's ringing. So she's coming up. Thank God. Yes,
I hope you can see
we
my
are
face.
seeing you. We'll manage it. Whether they like it or not, we'll manage it like that.
We'll do this
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Nigeria will hail you. We'll manage it like that.
Honestly,
Yes,
I'm so
ma.
disappointed
So you were
in
talking to us about the depression stuff, people that are
you.
depressed, that find solace in one thing or the other, maybe like alcohol or something. That was what you were telling us.
It's even very common with alcohol use, drug use, and all that. For the short period of time, they feel everything is okay, and then, but it doesn't really cure. It doesn't really cure the cause of what causes depression in them. So a lot of people get addicted. It's very possible get addicted to one habit or the other when depressed.
Thank you, ma.
Yes.
So the other question was now, if someone is addicted to a particular thing, maybe drug use, alcohol, or something, can the person still get depressed through that? Can depression set in through addiction?
Addiction.
Mhm.
When one is addicted to a particular, can that person get
Depressed.
depressed? Oh, I don't. I can't really place the question very well
Okay.
because
If okay,
I
maybe someone is an alcoholic person, or
Mhm.
maybe a sex addict or a drug addict, can the person have depression?
Okay, the first thing is what is the cause of that addiction? What
Hmm.
causes that addiction?
So
Is
definitely it is depression
it
that causes the addiction.
something actually led that person to, to actually get addicted. You see, most men sometimes they don't just feel comfortable at home. Some of them are just they don't, maybe depression, they just feel when I get to club I'll be okay, and so I looking at it, I think depression is what will lead to addiction.
Hmm. That's good. El Nino, did you get that? So that means there must have been something that triggered that alcoholism or maybe the addiction. So what really caused it? That could be depression. That is what you have to look into. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma. So now, is it possible for people to live in denial, like when they are depressed? Either yes or know your answer, just give us the answer and buttress it with your points.
It's very possible. Most time, people that are depressed will not even accept that they are depressed. They are just okay. I just want to be alone. I just don't want to interact. Because I'm not interacting, you does not mean I'm depressed, you know. They just feel you know, staying away from the crowd. Whereas it's when depression sets in, you know, an individual gets persistently becomes sad often, you know, feeling hopeless, feeling worthless, and all that. So they want to stay out of the crowd so that they will just be themselves. So sometimes most people that are depressed actually don't want to accept that, you know, they are depressed. But it's a thing of concern when you feel that whatever action, whatever feeling you are having is affecting those around you, or is affecting your, if it's affecting your health, it's affecting you psychologically, it's affecting the way you do things, the way you relate to others. It's very necessary for that such a person to call for attention, to seek attention and look
Okay,
within. Mm.
okay, ma. Thank you, ma. Then, how can we identify depression in people? You know, and you as a person, how can you identify that you are depressed? How can you know that you are depressed? You know, there's
Okay, well,
something in seeing it in others, and there's another thing in seeing it in yourself.
so okay. There are various signs to know when a person is depressed. Okay, there are various, so many signs, so many symptoms uh, to show that a person is depressed. I think I have some of them here. You know, feeling very sad, like I said, feeling sad, feeling hopeless. When you start, a person start feeling worthless, not just for a moment of time, not feeling sad within a day, or you know, when something happen, when an event happen and you're just sad, just within a moment, you can't say that person is depressed. But when it is persistent for a long period of time, 2 weeks and above, and that person still remains sad, still remain hopeless, you know, feeling worthless. Or in children, they sometimes they feel irritated about everything around them, things they love doing before, they just get irritated, and then, you know, that's one of the signs of depression. You know, being easily like I said, being easily irritated, lack of self-care. You know, when a person just say, I don't have time to even make your hair as a woman, you know, to take care of yourself, you know, look after what you are wearing, feel okay. When a person just lost self-care, just don't even care about anything about his or herself. Then, like I said, trouble sleeping, insomnia. When a person have trouble, either sleeping too much, or you know, not finding time to sleep. That pattern of sleeping is not just balance, and then, you know, also um, having difficulty concentrating, like I said before, when a person lose
Concentrate.
um, concentration, cannot concentrate at his place of work, or in academics, or in any area of one's life, you know, we can say these are just symptoms. These are symptoms, but it's not that once you see one or two of these symptoms, will not finalize that the person is diagnosed that the person is depressed or not. You know, slowness in speech, change in manner and pattern of communication. Somebody that communicates very often, that relates very well with people around. You just find out that it's just becoming he or she just start staying off, you know, just being in his or herself, just want to be alone, don't want anybody around, and then And all these are just, like I said, are just symptoms symptoms and sign of somebody that is depressed. Another one that is very common is suicidal thoughts. Most people that are depressed, the thought is, oh, life is worthless. When you start hearing clue like that from people, from someone around, um, that like thinking life is worthless. Why am I in this world? I don't think there is anything so good being around here. When such comes up, those are symptoms of depression.
Hmm.
Mm.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so very much, ma. So, what can we do? Like, okay, first, before I go into that, is there any difference between, or are there differences between the depression in adults and kids?
Um, how will I put it? In children, it's it actually affects the way it affects children is quite different. But depression takes almost the same pattern. It's not the same in everyone. That's why the treatment for depression is not the same. You can't say because you treat this person is depressed, this is what and what I did, to help the person come out of depression. Okay, well, this other person is depressed too. Let me do the same thing, repeat the same therapy all over, if it will also work for this person. Because there are different causes. There are actually what causes depression in every individual is different. So they have different treatments. Depression in children, the way you can handle depression in children is different from the way depression in adults can be managed. But all in all, they actually follow almost the same pattern. There are things one can do, just like a mother, what a mother can do, what a brother can do, or what a sister can do, or what an individual can do to help someone who is suffering from depression.
Okay. Thank you, ma. Thank you so
Mm.
very much,
Just
ma.
the
If you
pattern
have
of
any
handling it
question,
can be different. So,
mm,
the pattern of handling a child with depression will be different from the way you handle an adult with depression. If you are using playway method for children, there are things you do for children that you can't do the same thing for an adult.
an adult.
Mm, for just
Okay. So,
similar.
like, can you give us like few examples or things that causes depression in children?
Sometimes, like I read, Dr. Yatok or Michael said in the
Network again.
viral press, is very their child also what can get depressed, or there are so many things that can depression. Maybe, how will I put it? The environment where the child is, then that can cause depression in children. Okay, like not feeling satisfied with things he or she what the parents are providing. The side effect of drugs can also cause depression.
Mm, okay. So many things can
Hello, ma'am.
cause depression in children, as you said.
Hello.
So, um, we have spoken about the symptoms of the adult, and you made mention of few symptoms of the children that time. Can you just give us more symptoms in case, because some parents might not even know their children are going through depression. They just think they are just, you know, normal stuff, or maybe ó ti ń dàgbà ni, ó ti ń gbọ́n,
Hello.
you know, when a child stops playing and they say, oh, now he's getting older and he's becoming conscious of his environment or something like that.
Okay.
So can you just give us some examples of the depression in children?
Symptoms of depression in children, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
ma'am. Yes, clearly. Clearly.
Okay. Okay. The symptoms of depression in children actually could be, like I said, irritation. They easily get irritated by, there are some activities which the child actually enjoyed doing before, and all of a sudden the child just stop such activity, stop enjoying such activities, like tiredness. You see them sleeping, you see them, being not able to concentrate on a particular action, or not being able to participate well, or relate well with their peers. They just want to be alone. When you see a child being withdrawing in his or herself, from others, like I didn't mention that we've seen cases of children, maybe as a result of them receiving their report card, perform woefully. We've heard about children that attempt to commit suicide, and some even commit suicide just because of poor performance in their academics. So, and when you hear them saying things, like I said, that's suicidal thoughts is one of the symptoms. When a child starts telling you, what is in this word, self? Mommy, I don't, start saying some things that are just that you just feel are not right, are not what the child should be saying. Okay, so those are some of the symptoms of depression in children. Once they find it, once you find them withdrawing themselves, they don't want to talk, they don't want.
Connection failed. Can you hear? She will come up again. Let's see. I think she totally lost the network. Okay, she's coming up again. Oh my God. Can be annoying. Emma, no, please don't be
I'm back,
angry.
I'm back.
Yes, ma, we can hear you now. Ah, it's angry again. Hello, ma. Ma, please don't be angry. Should we push it forward?
Ah, looking at the
I
time
know.
now.
That's why I want us to do it today, because I know you're always busy. That's why.
Mm.
I can't even hear you again. What are you saying, ma? Network tún ti gbẹ́mìí mì o. Should we push it forward? Maybe we look for a day convenient for you as usual, you know. Mm. And so that is it. So that's why I'm
Okay, I'm
asking if
trying.
we should push
Someone
it
suggest
forward
let's on
because
trying
we should keep
then.
trying.
Can you
Okay, let's keep trying. Yeah, and it's clear
hear me
now.
now,
I
ma'am?
could hear your voice, but it's blurry. I can hear your voice, but it's blurry. But let's manage like that. Can you hear? Uh, hello? As the situation we find ourselves at times, so it's beyond us. Hey, Joe, Emma Binu. Hello, ma. Okay.
Okay,
Can
can you hear me
can you
now,
hear me
ma'am?
now? She's not hearing me. I'm sorry, everyone. We have to push this forward, and there's nothing we can do because the network is bad. Number one. Number two, she had to leave her house to go to the campus to do this. And now it's late. It's almost 10 o'clock. And for a woman to be driving around that time with children is not advisable, and it's dangerous. So I will want us to push it forward. Yes. We are thinking about next week Thursday, but if it have to be next week Thursday, that means we have to push it a little bit earlier, maybe like 6:30 our Nigerian time, so that she'll be able to go to the campus, and even if there's no light, she'll still be able to maneuver from school to the house around maybe 7, 8 o'clock. So please let's bear with us. It is beyond our power or our strength at this time. Please, yeah. So thank you so very much, everybody. According to what I said I will not be announcing people's names when they come online, because I realize many people come online, they say hello, they opt out, they come back again, and we recharge them. At the end of the day, we see that nobody is watching the video, nobody is even staying to listen to what we are saying. So that's why we want to do it in such a way that I will not feel cheated. I love you people. I want you to be around me. That's why I'm encouraging you by, buying recharge card for people that are in Nigeria once in a while, so that it won't be um as the things are in Nigeria, I'm still compounding to the issues you're having. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So please, you have to keep watching. You have to stay online with us. And maybe because me, I'm not shouting and ranting, and maybe that's why you're not staying too well. It's not in my line. So the way I can do it, this is the way I am able to. Please bear with us. Thank you for joining today. Afterwards, I'll go through and see our loyalists. I see most of the names I see here, I've known them. They're always coming. I just want to be sure that you are my paddy. If you are my paddy, I'll see you, right? Thank you so very much. So I will pass down the message, whatever we conclude. So because she's always busy, that's why. So you can see all these people, they go out of their way, to answer our calls. So for them to now come and people are not responding or people are not watching, it won't go well. So that's why we want you to keep participating and keep watching and passing the message. Please tell somebody who knows somebody to tell somebody that there's a group called Thoughtful Events on Facebook, and then you can find us on YouTube, Thoughtful Events at the same time. Um, all these videos, I put them down to Facebook so that people can see them, and you can relate to it later in future. And that is it. We are on Instagram also. My own personal ID on Instagram, I've always been writing it there, is Yabze. So IYABZE, as IYABZE Z. And that is it. Or Bussy Baby D. You can see both names. I'm now on TikTok, oh, the same YYABZE. People asking me to go on Thread again. I don't know which one be Wala show, but I'm trying. This thing is getting overwhelming. Too much, oh. And then that's why I am pleading with you, because without you, there's nothing I can do. I will just come here and be looking at the camera. But once you people are here, you ginger my swagger, you make me go, hey. That's why I go to any length to get anybody here. We've been on her for a long time, but she's been very busy. We have a lot of people lined up, but they are so busy. We are just trying to squeeze ourselves into them. And that is why we bring them in the evening, so that by the time they close from work, it will not disturb their work. And that is it. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for watching all the time. Thank you for being there for me and for the group. Thank you. God bless you. Till next week again. I will write your name. Whoever I choose, I will look at the minutes and chats and everything. I'll get in touch with El Nino. Will get in touch with you as usual. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Thank you. Have a good evening. I love you.